Welcome, guests. The ceremony will begin in 15 Please welcome the Grand Marshal for the School of Labor and Urban Studies 2024 Commencement Ceremony. Distinguished Lecturer of Labor Studies, Alethea Jones. Please welcome the Platform Party, the Founding Dean, the SLU Deans, Chair of the SLU and Community Advisory Board, distinguished speakers, the Class of 2024 Valedictorian, Salutatorian, and Master's Symbolic recipient, distinguished Alumni Award recipient, and the academic and administrative cabinet members of the college. Please welcome the class of 2024 graduates for certificate programs. Graduates of the Certificate and Advanced Certificate in Community Leadership. Woo! Graduates of the Advanced Certificate in Leading Change in Healthcare Systems. Graduates of the Advanced Certificate in Public Administration and Public Policy. Graduates of the Certificate in Urban Experience. Looking good. Oh, you made it after all. Graduates of the Certificate and Advanced Certificate in Labor Relations. Woo! Graduates of the Advanced Certificate in Labor Studies. All right. The mighty force of one. Please welcome the classes of 2024 graduates for degree programs. Graduates of Bachelor of Arts in Urban and Community Studies. Graduates of the Master of Arts in Urban Studies. Looking good. You're fine. and graduates of the Master of Arts in Labor Studies. Yeah, Zara. And now, please welcome our Grand Marshal, Alethea Jones, Distinguished Lecturer of Labor Studies.
Welcome. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies 2024 Commencement Ceremony. I now declare the 2024 commencement in session.
Now please let us rise and remain standing during the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner and Solidarity Forever. Please remain standing. Before we continue the ceremony, we'll pause to honor two members of our community that we lost this year, student Merle Ratner and faculty member Steve Atwell, and for the lives of all those we have lost to gun violence, to COVID, and to violence in the United States and throughout the world. Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. We can be seated.
Good afternoon. I saw you all a minute ago. I can't see you now, but you have such beautiful faces and they're smiling. I know they are. I want to welcome all of our proud graduates, their super proud parents and loved ones and spouses, our exceptional and incomparable faculty, our extraordinary and dedicated staff, our distinguished and honored guests, and the elected officials and union leaders whose support established our school and kept SLU vibrant and growing. I want to recognize some of our special guests today. First, up here with me on stage, and with me wherever I go to advocate for the school is my dear friend, Arthur Chiotis, please stand, Arthur, former president of CWA 1180, current business manager of the union, and chair of SLU's Labor and Community Advisory Board. We owe him just about everything. Thank you. There may be other members of the advisory board out here. I know that Barbara Edmonds, representing DC 37, is here. She's also teaching in the program with us. And if there are any other board members, I can't see you all, but please stand. And Barbara, Arthur, again, one more time, and any other board members, we want to thank the advisory board for all its support. Also, we have a number of community partners with us. We have representatives from GSK High School, John Adams High School, Clara Barton High School. Please stand. They are our community partners. Give them a hand. The Reverend here thinks I had forgotten him. Quite to the contrary. I want to introduce to you the Reverend Dr. Les Mullings, who's the founder and chief executive officer of Challenge Preparatory School in Far Rockaway. He and his principals and staff are here, and I just want you to know that Dr. Mullings is the one who got us started with the collaborative programs with high schools, and he and his community center and school make such a great contribution to his community and our city. Of course, I want to thank and recognize our two associate deans on the stage, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Gladys Palmer de Schneidermakers, and Associate Dean for Operations, Bert Sachs. These two individuals are the ones who keep the school humming and growing, and I think we are forever indebted to them. So welcome one and all, and thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies, if you didn't catch it the first time. We are dedicated to public service and social justice. We are the newest and fastest growing school in CUNY. It was less than a decade ago that a lot of people said we were defying the odds and calling for a new school in CUNY, let alone a school with a mission like ours. But here we are celebrating our 6th commencement. Let me repeat that, our 6th commencement. Thank you. Thank you to the class of 2024. Your hard work and dedication paid off, and we wouldn't be here as a school if it weren't for our graduates who chose to attend SLU and to graduate from SLU. So it was your academic success that really makes us shine. So a couple of words here. The guests, you all know your loved ones and who they are, and maybe even what they do here at SLU. There's Jamila, who wanted to get a degree so she can get a promotion and change things up at the job. There's Pedro, who wanted to earn a graduate certificate so he could get more involved in negotiating a new contract. There's George. Well, George, he didn't want to do his evening chores, so he said he had to study for classes. I would say that we don't have any Georges here, but I see somebody sort of pointing to a George here. But we have people coming here with a lot of different reasons. But as far as what happens here, and who they are, who our students are, many of them are government workers. They're either developing or implementing public policy and making life in our city more livable and equitable. They are public sector workers who ensure that our poor are housed, our hungry are fed, our subways are running, our ill are cared for, and our children are taught. Government gets a bad name in some circles these days, but you, our graduates, are in one of the noblest of all professions, and you are and always have been essential workers. So please give our public sector workers a big hand. At the same time, many of our students come to us because they are social justice activists. In fact, I met quite a few of them in front of my office at a demonstration yesterday. Some of the social justice activists come to us as labor leaders, union staff, shop stewards, and union activists who are committed to uplifting the voices and the power of workers in the workplace and in society. Others come to us from other social justice movements who, like our labor activists, come with one simple, all-encompassing commitment, and that's to make the world a better place. Talk about noble professions. Wow, that's something else. Give them a hand. And for the first time joining us at commencement are 40 high school students who have just completed their undergraduate certificates in the urban experience. These students who chose to take a series of college courses as part of their high school curriculum did so by learning about urban and labor issues and social justice movements. These students are the future. I hope they're the future at SLU. I hope they come and continue their education with us, but I mean, they are really the future. They are inheriting the world we are leaving them, and it will be up to them to clean up our messes and to take our country to a whole new level. We've got high expectations for you. No pressure, but yes, we've got high expectations. Give them a round of applause again. And what have all of our students been doing here, for those of you who are family members and friends? I'll tell you. They learn history. They explore complex and controversial social issues. They discuss policy. They debate strategy. They've researched. They've thought critically and analytically. They've written papers and they've made presentations. And some of them have even interned with union and community organizations. They learned academic skills, writing, researching, quantitative reasoning, critical thinking, and analysis. But they also learned about practical skills that will empower them to navigate and change government or nonprofit organizations. They've learned how to garner institutional resources and balance a budget, how to change public policy and practice, and how to organize a social movement. You see, this is a place where we do both deep discussion about issues and about practical concerns. And just as our faculty are both scholars and practitioners, our students are both thinkers and doers. As a result, many of our students will go on to become leaders in government or leaders of social movements. And while our students embrace, or at least contemplate, SLU's core values, equality, inclusion, racial and economic justice, and democracy, they do all that throughout their studies. I can't think of a more relevant education or more appropriate time for an SLU education. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the historical moment. That's something that is part of our tradition here, and we're certainly not going to stop now. These are very turbulent times and divisive times. And in turbulent times, we as a school and as a community, a local community and global community, we need to find common ground that reflect our shared values. I believe we can. And I believe we have to start with mourning. This is certainly a time to mourn. At SLU this year, we mourn the loss of a faculty member and a student, both of them dear to us as colleagues, friends, and active members of our community. But we are global citizens, and we also must mourn the devastating loss of innocent life in Gaza, and in Israel, and in the Ukraine, and in sub-Saharan Africa and other parts of the world. We need to mourn the loss of life in our own backyard. Death by gun violence and death by bigotry, poverty, and deprivation. In so many ways, these are horrific times, and we need to mourn. There's also a time to organize, and this is certainly that time. We organize to stop the killing in Gaza and to achieve peace and justice for all of the people of Israel and Palestine. We organize to stop anti-Semitism and Islamophobia and other forms of hate. We organize to stop attacks on free speech and to preserve academic freedom. We organize to stop attacks on our government, on our democracy. These attacks threaten what we've been taught is the very essence of our nation, as imperfect as that essence may have been and remains today. And what do we organize for? We organize for a more democratic, egalitarian, inclusive, and sustainable society, one that is based on racial and economic justice and global peace. And finally, this is a time to celebrate, and it's certainly that today. But we celebrate more broadly. We celebrate the barista workers and the workers in the entertainment industry and the auto workers and the fast food workers who are winning their fight for fair wages, a safe workplace, health insurance, and a decent and good life. Just what every one of us wants. We celebrate electoral wins that have brought previously disenfranchised communities to seats of power, and we celebrate the legislative wins that have come with that power. And at this very moment, best of all, we celebrate our graduates. We celebrate a milestone in your journey to fulfill your aspirations and dream. For some of you, that may mean advancing your careers in public service. For others, it may mean taking more leadership in your unions and community organizations. And because you're thinkers and doers, and because these times demand change, you as graduates are ideally positioned to help change the current narrative, lead the local and national discourse, and advocate for change and make those changes into realities. I will follow the time-honored tradition of offering advice on graduation day. So for whatever it's worth, here's what I have to say. Yes, pursue your passions. Find the courage to step up and speak up to right or wrong. But also listen to opposing views. Learn from others, address their concerns, and seek unity wherever possible. Pick your battles carefully and think strategically. Keep your humanity. It's not very easy. It's very easy to lose your humanity in these turbulent times. So keep following your moral compass and stay focused on making your contribution to a world that is equitable, just, and sustainable. That's my advice. And I have one more thing to say, and that is we are so proud to see our graduates start their journey, but we also don't want to see you go. Some of you will continue your education with us, and we're thrilled about that. Those who are moving on, we ask that you stay part of our community. Inside the classroom or outside the classroom, SLU is a place for lifelong learning. We look forward to seeing you, your beautiful faces at SLU, if not in the classroom, at the public events we organize at the school. So hats off to all of you graduates on this very special day, and thank you all for celebrating this great day with us. Thank you. Okay, we will now have a message from our Chancellor, CUNY Chancellor, Dr. Felix Matros Rodriguez, who has sent us a celebratory message. Let's take a look.
Greetings, everyone. Saludos, and thank you to the Mancios for inviting me to be part of this exciting day for the CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies. A shout out and a welcome to the honorary degree recipient, Deepak Bhargava, a familiar face and a good friend to CUNY and the School of Labor and Urban Studies. On behalf of the entire CUNY community, it is my honor and privilege to congratulate the class of 2024 on their hard-earned achievements and distinctions. For all our graduates, today is a celebration of the aspiration, perseverance, and accomplishment that have brought you to this exciting moment. It is a day to look ahead to the opportunities that you have worked so hard to create. As you made your way around our city this year, you might have noticed the subway and bus ads featuring fellow students and CUNY's promise of a degree for every dream. Each of you is the embodiment of those dreams and all the great promise that comes with a CUNY degree. Like generations of graduates who have come before, many of you are the first in your family to earn a college degree. Your family might have roots far away from New York. Many of you began your educational journey in the depth of the pandemic, but you stayed focused despite the hardships and disruption. No matter your background or experience, There isn't a graduate among you who hasn't overcome obstacles to get here today. As you contemplate the future, take a moment to reflect on how your CUNY experience has shaped you, expanded your mind, and helped put you on a new path. Think of the professors and mentors who have inspired you, the friendships that you have made, and the bonds you've formed with a community that will forever be yours. Along with your fellow 2024 graduates on CUNY campuses all across New York City, you are joining millions of alumni who help lift New York and drive it through hard work and engagement with their communities. Now you're part of that great legacy, and I only ask one favor. As you move forward in life and make us proud, take CUNY with you. Don't forget your CUNY family. I'm excited for your future and thrilled to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you and your families on behalf of the entire CUNY community. Thank you. Buena suerte. We're proud of you, and we will always have your back.
So your voices were heard. I also, however, want to make sure that anyone who was not able to hear the Chancellor speak and would like the opportunity to do that, that we will have his presentation on our website available to anybody who wants it. So I want to also thank the Chancellor for his support of our school through many, many years. So, thank you. Let's now move on to next part of our program, and that is my pleasure to turn the proceedings over to our Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Gladys Palma de Schneidermakers. Gladys is the first senior academic officer of the school, and we couldn't ask for a better leader. She works tirelessly to make certain that our SLU's academic and student programming helps students achieve their educational and personal goals. Please join me in welcoming to the podium a great scholar, educator, academic leader, and for me, a great, wise counsel in my work. So Dr. Gladys Palma de Schneidermakers. You got yours?
You got a kiss for that, dude. Okay. All right. Okay. I broke something already. At this time, I invite to the podium Jennifer Okafor, our valedictorian of the graduating class of 224. Who is graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in Urban and Community Studies. Please put your hands together for Jennifer.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, Dean Mancios, administrators, faculty, and staff of CUNY School in Labor and Urban Studies, family and friends, and of course my fellow graduates. Today we are celebrating a milestone, a culmination of hard work, determination, and resilience that has brought us to this day and moment. Today, thank you. Today isn't just about celebrating this milestone, it's about embracing what the future holds for us. Prior to attending SLU, I attended 3 other colleges. Unfortunately, I had a death in my family. I tried to work through it, but my GPA started declining and suffering. So I took what I thought would have been a semester off to properly mourn and grieve, but a semester turned to years. Eventually, I contacted my former advisor, and she recommended that I apply to SLU. Applying to SLU has been one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. Returning back to school and completing what I had started has been challenging but rewarding. In fact, my time here at SLU has been short of an amazing experience. Prior to SLU, I had no confidence whatsoever with my writing skills and research. But with proper help and guidance from my professors, I was able to build my skills and my confidence. So last semester, or two semesters ago, during my capstone course with Professor James Rodriguez, I put those skills into use by narrowing my research focus down to solitary confinement in U.S. prison. I came to the realization that our system was more broken than I thought in terms of mass incarceration, racial profiling, racial disparities. Professor Sophia Aptica's class also widened my knowledge about a lot about a lot of the urban social problems that most of us can relate to or have experienced, such as unemployment, infrastructure, climate change, housing problems, and the effects that redlining has left in our society. These causes have motivated me to work towards becoming a part of the solution rather than complaining about the problems. I'm just so grateful to my advisor for guiding me through my educational journey, as well as helping me meet my required academic goals. And to all my professors and the staff of CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies, thank you for creating such a safe, non-judgmental, and a positive learning environment. You all are really the true definition of an unsung hero. And to our family and friends who stood by us throughout this journey with their words of encouragement, love, and support, our immense gratitude goes to all of you. And finally, to my fellow graduates, once again, I say congratulations to all of us. SLU has lighted a candle in each and every one of us. And after today, let's all go out there and take the world by storm. Let those lighted candles shine bright and effect a positive change in our evolving world and society. Thank you.
I get a hug. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Jennifer, for those thoughtful words. And I want to give a special shout out to our 2024 salutatorian, Brian Hunt. Stand up, sir. Come on, show him some love. I am now pleased to invite to the podium Athlon MacGyver, Master Symbolic recipient of the graduating class of 2024, who is graduating with a Master's of Arts in Labor Studies. Please welcome him. Oh, her. I'm sorry, her. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
I love you guys too. Good evening. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, my ancestors who enabled me to be here today, faculty, family, friends, my fellow graduates, and labor, love, and solidarity. Spoiler alert, this is not going to be your typical cookie cutter speech because I'm not your typical cookie cutter graduate. I was honored when I was told my story was inspiring and I was selected to speak as the Master Symbolic recipient. For me, life was just lifing, and I was just trying to keep up. But I hope it will inspire someone today. I have been employed at the New York City Department of Homeless Services as a fraud investigator, associate fraud investigator, and now manager for the past 23 years. I began my career after graduating undergrad 23 years ago at 21 years old. This is the only instance as a woman. I'll grant you permission to do the math on that. We'll revisit that number later. 1 second. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I began my journey here at SLU during the height of a global pandemic in August 2020 at PATH, DHS's sole 24-hour intake facility, which services local, national, and foreign families seeking emergency housing assistance. We are responsible for providing shelter to thousands of families a year. We were in that building through COVID-19, remained there during the recent influx of migrants, and kept going when New York City turned orange during Canadian wildfires. I can now add an earthquake to that list. Back to the number you calculated earlier. I was half the age I am now when I graduated with my BA. There have been plenty of times when I sat in classrooms with students half my age and did not know what was going on. And that's okay. All of my professors have poured into me the knowledge to be a better researcher, delegate, collective bargainer, and advocate. I had my first mock collective bargaining session here and advanced analytically with thought-provoking classes like labor and incarceration, which correlated chattel slavery and current mass incarceration rates. In addition to the faculty, I would be remiss if I did not mention the bonds established with fellow students while unpacking information during class and in group chats. Capstone planning and dinner planning went hand in hand, but I persevered through this journey while working 6 to 7 days a week, attending parent-teacher conferences, extracurricular activities, doctor's visits, which usually occurred after the extracurricular activities, and enrolling my oldest daughter into St. John's University. She's back there. Thank you. An abundance to thanks to both my daughters and daily motivators, Akasha and Brylan, for sharing me, and my support team for carrying me. Special recognition to women of a certain age, especially Black and brown single mothers who haven't been in an academic setting. Thank you. Black and brown single mothers who haven't been in an academic setting in a while, who are battling financial and academic insecurity. I did not have a blueprint to get where I am, but here I am. After 23 years of city service, 19 years as a single mother, and 4 years as a delegate for Social Services Union Local 371, I knew my determination and dedication could not be discounted as a valuable contribution to this academic institution. The pages. There were always challenges, but I made it through this journey while ensuring New York's most vulnerable population gets a call someplace home. Yet because of gentrification and inflation, I am delivering this speech while being displaced from the neighborhood I have called home my entire life, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I will most likely join the mass exodus of African Americans forced to leave not only Brooklyn, but New York City altogether. Still today is a day for all of us to mark our achievements. After successfully making stumbling blocks my stepping stones, I stand before you, a 2024 CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies graduate and a Master of Labor Studies. Always remember, your contribution matters. You are enough, and if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring your own chair. You have two choices, ladies and gentlemen. You can quit or keep going. They both hurt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Aflon, and for your service, for your passion, your dedication. To you, to our valedictorian and our salutatorian and all our students. This is why we do what we do, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I would like to recognize the student representatives of the SLU Student Union and Academic Governing Council who worked so tirelessly for all of you during this year. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Be seated.
It's a great privilege for me to take on this role. Our candidate today for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters is Deepak Bhargava. Mr. Bhargava is president of JPB Foundation is a long-time friend of SLU and a policy expert with extensive practical experience in community organizing, leadership development, social movements, progressive strategy, coalition building, and voter mobilization. From 2019 through the spring of 2023, Mr. Bargava was a distinguished lecturer of urban studies here at SLU and served on our foundation board. He is co-author with Professor Stephanie Luce of Practical Radicals, 7 Strategies for Change of the World. Just on a personal note, I met Deepak. I knew of him before he came to SLU, but I met him when he got here, and I can't underscore what a great thinker and doer he is, what a terrific leader and organizer, and what a dear friend he is to the school, to me, and to many of us. So please welcome to the podium Deepak Bhargava.
Good afternoon, SLU family. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You all look really good. Dean Mancios, Associate Dean, Diploma Shrinemakers, honored guest, my beloved faculty colleagues who I miss very much, students, staff, parents, and friends, thank you so much for this great honor. Teaching students and working alongside the incredible faculty and staff at the School of Labor and Urban Studies has really been one of my life's greatest joys. So receiving this honorary doctorate from you is like getting an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony, and a Grammy all at the same time. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this honor. It really means the world to me. So the dirty little secret of teaching at SLU, I'm going to tell them, y'all, I'm going to tell them what it is that the students do a lot of the teaching. And we like it that way. And you all ask some great questions of each other and the faculty. And I remember the very first semester I taught at SLU, class about public policy, one of you asked the question, what is democracy good for anyway? And her point was, life for working class people in New York City is hard. High rents, displacement, tough commutes, underfunded schools. What good is it showing up every few years to vote for people who don't seem to care what happens in your neighborhood anyway? My answer back then was not very convincing. And so I've been thinking about that question, what is democracy good for, ever since. And this question is now the defining question of our time. We are engaged in a worldwide battle over the future taking place in every continent and every country. Will we live in a democracy or in an authoritarian or fascist society where people cannot freely share their opinions, where minorities are persecuted, and where there is no equal justice under the law? When we think about democracy, we usually think about the right to vote, free speech, or the right to protest, all rights that are under attack right now. And let me say it plainly, the right to protest peacefully should be sacred, and that means here at CUNY too. I honor the students here at CUNY and around the country who take what they learn and act against injustice. That's what we want you to do. They stand in the finest tradition of nonviolent action that has brought about all positive change in this country. I am proud of you. You should be honored, not detained, arrested, or charged. And I stand with the faculty, students, and leadership at SLU who have demanded that CUNY change its course, and especially to ensure that students engaged in nonviolent protest are not prosecuted. So what is democracy good for? So here's my answer to the question 5 years later. You all can give me a grade at the end of this, like I used to give you grades. Democracy matters because it is the only condition, the only possible condition in which each of us can achieve our fullest potential and live lives filled with joy and purpose. It is not something given to us by politicians, by founding documents, or by powerful people. Democracy is us. We achieve it, we make it real through organizing, through solidarity, and through collective action. The democracy we have in this country, which is far from perfect, is the product of centuries of struggle by people of color, by workers, by women, by LGBTQ people, people with disabilities, and others, to expand our conception of who counts, whose belongs, whose voice gets heard in our society. My being here today, your being here today, is of course the result of support from our parents and our families, our loved ones who held us up when we needed that support. And my dad, I want to acknowledge, is here in the audience today, and his love and care for our family has been indispensable to our families making it in this country. And let's give a shout out to the incredible parents and friends of the students, the graduating students this year, for all the sacrifices they made for you to be able to graduate and succeed this year. So I also want to say to you that in addition to that debt that we owe to our parents, our friends, our family, we owe a profound debt to generations of people before us who fought for us, people we never knew and who never knew us, but who had us in their mind's eye and in their hearts. We are the dreams come true of ancestors who fought for the right to vote, who fought for the right to collectively bargain and organize into a union, the right to a public education, an end to discrimination on the basis of race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, immigration status, and disability. Those rights have never been equally extended to everyone in this country, and they are under attack now. But for folks like us who did not come from great wealth, these rights are our precious inheritance. They are bequeathed to us as a gift, a sacred gift by our ancestors. They are the foundation for our ability to do what we do today. My beloved mother passed away at the age of 86 this past March, just a couple of months ago. She grew up in a poor family that had trouble getting enough to eat. She managed to get a PhD, an amazing feat for a woman of that generation in India. She spent her career doing research in biochemistry, authoring papers with titles that I can't even pronounce. She talked about having traveled a distance from watching a Maharaja parade through the streets of her city of Mysore on an elephant, to living in a high-rise in New York City, living thousands of miles away with friends from all over the world in every walk of life. How did that happen? Well, she worked really hard. She was smart, just like all of you. But if you asked her, she would say she did not do it alone. Her life story would not have been possible were it not for an expanding democracy in two countries, in India and the United States. In India, my mother benefited from the educational opportunities that came to women after independence from British colonialism. Our family would not have been able to immigrate to the United States were it not for the 1965 immigration law, which was brought to you, by the way, by the civil rights movement and the immigrant rights movements. Once we were here, my dad, also a scientist, ended up driving a taxi for many years in the city, and he was a member of a union, a proud member of a union that actually helped pay for me to go to college. These changes in our society, these struggles that ordinary people undertook, made it possible for my mom and our family to succeed, and we didn't succeed all by ourselves. People in unions, in civil rights and social justice organizations, and social movements took risks, and they fought for them. They sacrificed, and they sometimes bled for what we have today. So here's my answer to the question, what is democracy good for? Democracy is the necessary condition for our individual hopes and dreams to be realized. Democracy is not about what politicians do, it's about what we do for and with each other in our acts of solidarity and care. To me, this is why SLU is such a precious and essential institution, defending and advancing the right of workers and community members to have a say in the decisions that affect our lives, to be heard and respected, to shape our own destinies. The poet Elizabeth Alexander has a poem that speaks to this collective debt, something we can too easily forget, called Praise Song for the Day. Here's a brief section to close, and I've taken the liberty of changing the season to reflect this beautiful spring day. Say it plain, that many have died for this day. Sing the names of the dead who brought us here, who laid the train tracks, raised the bridges, picked the cotton and the lettuce, built brick by brick the glittering edifices they would then keep clean and work inside of. Praise song for struggle, praise song for the day, praise song for the hand-lettered sign, the figuring it out at kitchen tables. Some live by love thy neighbor as thyself, others by first do no harm or take no more than you need. What if the mightiest word is love? Love beyond marital, filial, national, love that casts a widening light, love with no need to preempt grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, in this spring air, anything can be made, any sentence begun, on the brink, on the brim, on the cusp. Praise song for walking forward in that light. You, SLU graduates, carry a lineage proudly. You are descendants and ancestors. It brings me joy to know that you will carry forward this tradition of justice, putting what you've learned to use, forging a democracy and a society in which everyone can thrive. It's our democracy, and it is worth fighting for. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Go away. Thank you, Deepak, for those beautiful words. I'm going to read the honorary degree resolution. This is what the faculty and the SLU administration presented before the board and approved by the board. For your work as a policy activist and expert, you utilize your public platform to address issues of poverty, economic justice, racial equality, and immigration. For your work as an educator, recruiting and training the next generation of community organizers. For all this, we thank you. You exemplify the humanity, cultural depth, and senses of social justice that we value in our graduates, in our public figures, and represent this university as highest values. By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon Deepak Bhargava a degree of humane letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto. I would like to now announce the recipient of this year's Distinguished Alumni Award, which is given to an alumnus who embodies the school's mission of public service and social and economic justice for all. This year, We are recognizing Neon Amir, who graduated with an advanced certificate in community leadership and a Master's of Arts in the Urban Studies class of 2020. Neon is a dedicated educator committed to social justice and inclusion, and inclusive and comprehensive education for all. A first-generation college graduate, she is currently pursuing a PhD in curriculum evaluation and research at Barry University. Neon actively contributes to her school communities by writing curricula to address societal needs, volunteering at community events, leading study sessions, and engaging in faculty interviews. During her time at SLU, Neon founded SLU Student Union and developed a robust governance structure to support current and future leadership. I am pleased to present Neon with the SLU 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award.
Good afternoon, class of 2024, and congratulations for making it to this moment. Sorry.
Love you.
My name is Neon Amir, and I am an alumna from the class of 2020. For me, college was always the expectation, applying and getting in. That part was easy. No one teaches you how to get through it. We aren't taught how to self-advocate, when to ask for help, or when to take a step back because it feels overwhelming, especially as a first-gen student. When I applied to SLU in 2018, it was for an advanced certificate in community leadership. I knew I wanted to get an graduate degree, but my undergraduate experience and grades from years of uninterested professors and lost advisors left me feeling dejected. The advanced certificate was my entry into graduate school. During my time in the community leadership program, SLU was a new school. It was just starting, and so was I. So there were some growing pains, but being in school and wanting to be in class, being at an internship and working was motivating. From taking 4 classes and working an internship for 20 to 30 hours a week with an additional part-time job, this left me with only Sundays, and Sundays found me studying at CUNY's Graduate Center's library. I was surrounded by people who cared and encouraged me to continue to challenge myself and thrive, and because of this, it made the transition into the Master's in Urban Studies program a breeze. Professors were engaging in topics relevant to our work. Classmates remained insightful. Even when classes were difficult, like research methods during the spring of 2020, my classmates and I managed to create study groups over Zoom and pushed each other to succeed. My time at SLU motivated me not only to strive for the best within myself, but also inspired me to give back to the school. Through the Academic Governance Council, I was the creator of SLU Student Union, and together we developed a robust governance structure to support current and future student leaders. My work with the Academic Governance Council and the Student Union flowed into the work I do now. I currently work as a college counselor, and I'm proud to say my students have a 100% acceptance rate. In addition to the many college preparation activities and programming I run, it's rewarding to have realistic conversations with young students and to be a guiding light for them. I'm also beginning my 3rd set of courses in my PhD program at Barry University's Adrian School of Education. With an anticipated graduation year of 28. Because life ebbs and flows, and sometimes one class is all you can manage. Coming to SLU allowed me to learn to be a student by translating my work ethic into school, and it is because of this that I will have a doctorate. Thank you to the faculty, staff, and students of SLU. I am grateful for this honor and look forward to seeing the class of 2024 and beyond continue to strive and thrive because education is the key to unlocking your full potential.
All right, let's give Neon a little bit more love. Neon, you get a present. You get a present. The School of Labor and Urban Studies has a long-standing tradition where graduates pass the torch to an undergraduate or graduate student working towards their own graduation. Today, we continue that proud tradition with an inspirational poem by Walter Rami, a longtime staff member at SLU, and the poem calls upon future graduates to come and build and to show the way home. Today the poem is defiant. Today's poem still defiantly rings true as we are excited to continue this tradition in 2024. Our graduates, Jaime Johnson, an MA in Urban Studies and co-chairs the SLU Student Union, will be passing the torch to a current student, Lily Wilk.
As we pass the torch to the next graduates, we'd like to say, catch. A world in turmoil awaits your guiding hands. A disintegrating nation needs to be rebuilt in a new form. Come and build. Come with new ideas, new visions. We hope for a better way to live. You are now on a path to creating a brighter tomorrow. You already have the torch, so let's start moving. The world is at a crossroad. Come show the way home. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jaime, Walter, Lily, and Corey. Okay, and now, the moment we have been waiting for. What do you think that moment is? The presentation of the 2024 graduates and candidates. I know you're not going to listen to this, but I got to say it anyway. To expedite the presentation of certificates and degrees, please refrain from taking pictures until the end of the ceremony. I know. Would our department chairs, Steve London and Ruth Milkman, please join us on the platform. These two are amazing academic leaders. They work diligently to make sure you have the classes that you need to do to graduate, to inspire and motivate faculty. And unfortunately, they have to work with me. But they are dedicated to your success. Okay, now, it is my pleasure to welcome the School of Labor and Urban Studies Certificate and Advanced Certificate candidates of the class of 2024. Come on now. On behalf of the Urban Studies and Labor Studies departments, I will now present the candidates and graduates for the certificate programs. Will the certificate and advanced certificate candidates and graduates from the Urban Studies department please stand and come forward?
Certificate in Community Leadership to Gausu Koita. Ronald Rivera. Advanced Certificate in Community Leadership to Esteban Ayala. Teresa Bello. Ali Raza. Advanced Certificate in Leading Change and Healthcare Systems, Christina Sparrock. Advanced Certificate in Public Administration, Robert Donate. Stephen Nunez. Certificate in Urban Experience, Temi Abdul. Rachel Ajayi. John Avila. Victor Balagon. Quentin Blakes. Rokaya Dabo. Art Egbarangbi. Malika Lewis. Lorenzo Paulino. Amari Petit Paul. Kumaya Pruitt. Shania Spooner. Jared Winter. Alana Williams. Nadia Carter. Ariana Arbadonedo. Talia Cook. Anastasia Elick. Navia Izquierdo. Stephen Kelly. Paige Kennedy. Jessica Lopera. Swarsati Analesa Mania. Shazana Narain. Ishani Rampersod. Kristen Time. Fatima Zara. Brianna Navarette. Adirian Amid. Dami Atalagbe. Maya Billinghurst. Christopher Bryce. Corinne Frederick Regis. Calicia George. Esther Grandpierre. Amberine Hussein. Alvaro Junior Sanchez. Sahara Sky Price. Kiara Williamson.
Certificate in Labor Relations.
Michael Fallon. Advanced Certificate in Labor Relations, Gina Etienne. Jose Antonio Gonzalez. Laura Saint-Jean. Advanced Certificate in Labor Studies, Jen Lee.
Sorry, I'm catching up. It is now my pleasure to welcome the School of Labor and Urban Studies graduate candidates for the class of 2024 for their degrees. On behalf of the Labor Studies and Urban Studies departments, I will present the graduates and candidates for their degrees. Will the graduates and candidates from the Urban Studies department please stand and come forward? Bachelor of Arts in Urban and Community Studies, January 2024, June 2024.
Take the stage, my friend. Let's hear it for Infinite George, Bachelor of Urban Studies. Lila Mejia. Shireen Rochester. Teresa Sharp.
And we can't forget our valedictorian, Jennifer, please. Bachelor of Arts in Urban Community Studies. We no longer have a shortage of mics.
Jennifer Okafor.
Will the candidates and graduates from the Labor Studies Department please stand and come forward? Bachelor of Arts in Labor Studies, June 24.
But first, Masters in Urban Studies, Vivian Burns.
Okay.
Miguel Angel Davila. Oh, nice. Hawa Fainke. Woo. Joshua Goodman. Nick Galota.
Whoa, 1 minute.
Jamie Johnson.
So the script needs a little work because we have not acknowledged our salutatorian to come up. My apologies.
Oh, we haven't done the labor study. We're still doing urban studies.
What?
We're still doing urban studies. Bachelor in Labor Studies and our salutatorian, Brian Hunt.
Thank you, Brian.
Masters in Urban Studies, Candace Joseph. Karen Martinborough. Nicole Nestor. Morgan Oppenheimer. Robert Persons. Amy E. Rice. Kim C. Riley. Amanda Trainer. Dion Williams. Fabio Arciot. Amanda Ayala Castro. Alvin Baugh. Melissa Bautista. Masters in Labor Studies, Diversity Scholarship graduate, Anu Biswas. Zara Kadu. Gabriel Feldman Schwartz. Max Fisher. Daniel Goldman. Gina Gratton. Jules Grifferty. Juanita del Rosario Mejia Gutierrez. Ryan Montalto. Jacob Nardone. Dana Steer. Miriam Uribe Martinez. Maria Uruchima.
And now Aflon McIver, our graduate master symbolic recipient.
Aflon McIver.
Woo! Our final degree is presented, unfortunately, posthumously to Merrill Ratner, candidate for the Masters of Arts in Labor Studies. Merrill was a part of our community for many years, not only enrolling in our program and attending classes, but also participating in our public programs over the course of many years. Her work in Vietnam was a source of inspiration for so many of us, faculty and students alike. Her husband, Nyan Ingo, is here today representing Merrill. And now, the conferral of the certificates and degrees. This is the real official part, okay? Will the candidates and graduates please stand? Dean Mancios, our founding dean, on the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Labor and Urban Studies and their representative departments, I present to you the candidates and graduates for the certificates and degrees. Certificate of Community Leadership, Advanced Certificate of Community Leadership, Advanced Certificate in Leading Change and Healthcare Systems, Advanced Certificate in Public Administration and Policy, Certificate in the Urban Experience, Advanced Certificate in Workplace Democracy and Community Ownership, Certificate in Labor Relations, Advanced Certificate in Labor Relations, Advanced Certificate in Labor Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Urban and Community Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Labor Studies, Masters of Arts in Urban Studies, Masters of Arts in Labor Studies for January 2024 and June 2024.
Okay, here we go. Senior Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Gladys Palmer de Schneidermakers, faculty, class of 2024 graduates and candidates for graduation. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby confer all these degrees with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto. Graduates, as a Graduates, as a symbol of your new status, please move your tassel from the right to the left.
Today, you may sit. Today, we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. However, no commencement would be complete without recognizing those individuals who have been instrumental in bringing about our graduate success. So listen carefully. Will the administrators and staff please rise? To the administrators and staff who tirelessly assisted and supported our students in navigating their own path through the school, we thank you. Will the faculty please rise? Come on now. Teacher, challenger, taskmaster, co-explorer, mentor, counselor, and friend. Core of our institution. Pulse of the academy. Singularly and collectively, you have provided our student body with an extraordinary educational foundation. Please accept our sincerest gratitude. Will the parents, spouses, partners, children of the graduates please rise? Your support, encouragement, patience, sacrifice, and financial assistance made today possible. You are most deserving of our gratitude and thanks. On behalf of the School of Labor and Urban Studies, please accept our heartfelt appreciation for entrusting those who are most precious to you to us. Thank you. Gracias. And now, to the class of 2024. Maya Angelou once wrote, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." We at SLU have given you the tools to tell your story. It is now time to share it with the world. So after that, I know it's dramatic, but I'm Cuban from Brooklyn, so it's got to be dramatic. I invite all of our graduates to please, as we finish the ceremony, to go to the steps of the library to take our traditional picture between the two lions. And then there'll be a band, a marching band, escorting you back to campus to continue the celebration. I guess you're not closing officially the ceremony because the marching band started already. We're supposed to, never mind.
Yeah, that's fine. This is perfect. I got it.
Please allow the graduating class, platform party, and faculty to exit first, followed by our guests. Graduates, platform party, and faculty, please follow the Rude Mechanical Orchestra and commencement marshals to the library steps at 5th Avenue and 42nd Street near the lion statues for a photo with the graduating class. And everyone else, join us back on campus on the 14th floor immediately after for light refreshments and entertainment. We now declare the 2024 commencement officially over. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you.